all the friends. So today my topic is talking about the effect of vitamin content on cell reproductive performance. Firstly, I want to give a briefly introduce of this kind of title. That's because in my experiment, I found that because we usually said the energy or the protein content will influence on the cell reproductive performance at the early gestation stage. But we are thinking the other way. That's the if we exclude the protein and the energy, how about we just add more vitamin content and the mineral content? What's will going on? So today I want to find some literature review to give my experiment result solution, a briefly explanation. So the actually for the long time ago in the 1933 year, this author already noted that the early uterine secretions were likely an important nutrition source for early concepted formation. And also have the researchers, they revealed that these uterine secretions were induced principally by progesterone and that their release into the lumen was possibly stimulated by the estrogen. And these two kind of the hormone will effect of the uterine capacity. That means we usually said when the feed intake is going too high, the progesterone clearly rate will become higher, so will cause the embryo survival rate goes down. And in the early gestation stage, is we have to achieve the higher productive, have to not only by the using proteins, fat, and carbohydrates, but also have a sufficient supply of the mineral and the vitamins. All through the passive transfer of some nutrients undoubtedly occurs between the maternal-fetal blood barrier. Most micronutrients are probably more dependent on an active transport mechanism. We know that when the body is working, they will have so many metabolic activities takes the place in the placenta and the fetal tissues, requiring they need to supply of the most vitamin and minerals. And the antioxidant vitamins not only may have a role in the attainment and the maintenance of the pregnancy, but also in fetal development. And also have some researchers, they already found some positive factor of some vitamins with the reproductive physiology and the fetal development, such as vitamin A, vitamin E, and riboflavin and folic acid. So first one, I want to show the vitamin effect. We can see it's called the complex vitamin, so it's combined. We can see that from this research, the treatments have the control one is called standard, is from the NRC standard, and elevated the concentration for the vitamin is 1.5 times. We can see that in this situation, in this study, we cannot see any significant effect in this result. They don't have any effect on the following size or the live birth or the stillbirth for the cell reproductive performance. But we can see that in this study, we can see that the author provide the complex vitamin mineral at 5 days after insemination and 1 day after insemination. So we can see that they just the injection for the early gestation at the day 1 and the day 5 for the pregnancy days. And they already can improve the quantity of the live pigs in a nest. They said we also can say that they can increase the litter size in this experiment, and they also have the higher live weight. But because their litter size is getting higher, so the live weight for the birth weight of the piglet on the treatment 2 actually is treatment 3. They get the lowest birth weight of the piglet. But we still can see that the average winning weight, they also can get more, and also they have the more average daily gain of the pigs for the suction period. And for the next one, how about for the piglet performance? The piglet performance, we can see that the live piglet is also more than is getting more in the treatment with injection the vitamins. And we also can see that the mass of nest at the birth and the live weight of the piglet at the birth, and also for the quantity of the pig to weaning from a sow. We can see that the treatment with the get the vitamin at the first day of the pregnancy, so they can get higher performance on the piglet. But in this study, they're using the different concentration for the vitamin. We can see that the vitamin 1 is also for the NRC standard. So they will times 3, times 6, and 9 times of the vitamin concentration. We can see that they have no effect, even, and maybe they have some disadvantage on the bone alive or the litter weight on this situation. We can see that the group with the 9 times of the vitamin concentration, they have the lower litter weight gain than the control group, and their bone alive, even they have a little bit higher, they have the chance to increase the bone alive, but actually they don't have achieved the significant. So the other vitamin usually used on the single vitamin is the vitamin E, but vitamin E sometimes will combine with the selenium. So in this study, we also can see that when the treatment, they provide the vitamin E concentration for 40 or 70 during the different parity. At the parity 1 and parity 2, we can see whatever in the parity 1 or 2, they also can increase the body weight gain in the sow. And we also can see that actually this kind of supplement, they won't affect by the parity. So how about for the piglet? We can see that, first one, we have to see the WEI. We need to estro interval days. We can see that the group with the vitamin addition additive, so they will get the short WEI days. That means the cell can go back to recycle faster than the control group. And for the piglet, we can see that the total piglet's bone and the piglet's bone alive, they are higher in the group with the vitamin E supplementation. and also they also have the less stillbirth number in the treatment with the vitamin E. And the little size at the weaning, they will have more. They will have more alive piglet when they are weaning. And the other parameter, we also can see that the piglet body weight and the piglet body weight eventually at the 21 days they have to weaning. The weaning weight can goes to 9.5 or 12 or 12.5. And the other thing is interesting. That's the diarrhea score for the piglets. When the diarrhea score getting lower, that means they have less diarrhea situation. So we can see that the vitamin group when the group get the vitamin, when the cell get more vitamin, and maybe they can also improve the immune system or the other body function for the piglet, so they can reduce the diarrhea incidence for the piglet. And next one, we consider about the serum parameters. How when we supply the vitamin E, whatever we supply 40 or 70 IU per kg. So we can see that when we supply the vitamin E, so they have high alpha tocopherol and the selenium concentration. So we can know that the selenium and the vitamin E, they have a kind of relationship in here. And the other things we also want to talk about, how about for the piglets. The piglet serum alpha tocopherol and the selenium concentration will also getting higher in when the cell also in the supplementation of the vitamin E group. So here have a author. He concludes some reference that says if we supply selenium or the vitamin E, most of like the first of four, they are combined vitamin E and selenium. And the first one is for the selenium first, and they also provide the other vitamin E. So we can see that they have some good effect on the litter size at birth, and the litter size at the birth, and the litter weight, and the lower mortality rate at the birth. And the other interesting things that we can see that they give the vitamin E in the different timing. Like in the first one, they give the high concentration of the vitamin throughout the whole gestation period. And this one just provide at the 60, 30, 60, and 100 days of the gestation. And some will only give the guilt, and some will give for the before the following. So we can see that when we provide the vitamin E at the early gestation stage, maybe they can improve the litter size of the piglet. But if we just give at the final at the later stage, that means before following or after 80 days of the gestation stage, so we can see that they don't have any benefit on the litter size, but they can improve the piglet weight at the day one age, and they also can improve the daily gain of the piglet. So they will get more benefit on the piglet. So from this paper, we also can see that the different parity They also have no big effect on the treatment with the vitamin E and the selenium injection. We can see that the group they also have with the vitamin E and the selenium injection. They have the high bone alive and the winning number, also the birth, also the birth weight, and also they have the lower mortality rate of the piglet, especially for the first first time when the piglet born. And the other one I want to discuss is the vitamin A and the beta carotene. Why I want to put these two kind of things together? That's because beta carotene they are usually for the precursor of the vitamin A. So usually have some paper they will prefer use the beta carotene than the vitamin A. But some of the study will also combine these two. So we can check this data. So for the carotene first, we can see that if we provide the carotene in the guild, seems they have the trend to decrease the pig's bone alive, but it's not so obviously. The other one is relatively go to higher. Less for the multiparity cells, they can when they got more beta carotene dose, so they can increase the pig bone alive in this study, and they also can increase the litter size when the treatment have more beta carotene supplementation. So also relative the bone alive, we can also say that the multiparity cells they will when they got more beta carotene concentration, so they also will decrease the bone of the piglet state. And here we also can see that this paper is discussed about the beta carotene and the vitamin A separately. So we can see that when the treatment with whatever for the beta carotene or the vitamin A, both of them can increase the bone alive and decrease the bone dead. But for this situation, maybe just the vitamin A can really decrease the number of the bone dead than the carotene and the control group. And also, we can see that the carotene and the vitamin A supplementation treatment, they can also get higher litter birth weight in this study. And in the 1985, the author injected vitamin A depleted for the gills with the either and carotene or beta carotene and the vitamin A every 7 days. Throughout the two treatment throughout the gestation stage and reported both of them can improve the embryo survival rate. And the next one is for the vitamin B group. Uh, supplementary folate and vitamin B12 improve litter size of the early parity cells and maybe can reduce the incidence of the early pregnancy loss across all parities. And this kind of situation, they won't affect on the season. And this author also figure out that there's just a little amount of the money you just spend in one batch of the fee. That's maybe just for the US dollars for $3. So maybe in Taiwan dollars, maybe just for 90 or 100 for 10. So we can see that here is also for the guild and the cell. we can see that when the guild or sow, they provide the folic acid during 30 days of the gestation. So we can see that they can decrease the embryo mortality. We can see here both of they with the folic acid, so they can decrease the embryo mortality rate. And the other thing is when we supply for the vitamin B9, so maybe they have some interaction with the homocysteine. We can see that when we supply the homocysteine, they will decrease the embryo hormones when we supply the vitamin B9. So they will decrease the concentration for the homocysteine. And I found that the other explanation for this one is the reduction of systemic and uterine homocysteine induced by the folic acid supplement might be a mode of action of this vitamin in the uterine environment and on embryonic development in odental cells. In multiple parent cells, and for this experiment is Mason and the Landres cells. They have the low circulating homocysteine suggests an intrinsically more efficient remethylation pathway of the homocysteine, which did not seem to dependent on the folate of the vitamin B12 status. So here we can see that we also can see that maybe from this kind of situation, for the guilt, maybe they need more nutrient or the vitamin supplement than the cell. Here also have an interesting vitamin that has received very little attention. It's the vitamin B2. This vitamin appears to be increased in uterine fluctuations in a specific window from day 7 to 9 after conception. When the cells were supplemented with the 100 microgram per day, so they were instead of the recommended 6 microgram per day between day 4 and the 10 of the gestation. Pregnancy rate and the embryo rate to day 30 of the pregnancy will also increase. But this kind of mechanism still underlying this effect. However, it's not clear, and to our knowledge that have been no further reports on the riboflavin in the literature for the relationship with the embryo development. So I will make to the finish. I want to make a conclusion for the literature review. So we can see that if the vitamin content is optimal, so things can improve the reproductive of the cells and the performance of the piglet. But it depends on the timing you give the cell. Like you just give at the early gestation stage, maybe they will just have some effect. They will have a big effect on the little size little size number, but maybe they won't directly to go to effect on the piglet's weight gain. But in some reference also said that if we give the whole stage, so maybe they can just we just give whole stage in the gestation, so they will get the better and better result on it. But for my experiment, we can see I can see that the result shows the when we provide more mineral and vitamin content, so they not only can increase the little size, They also can improve. They have some improve of the piglet birth weight. And because for the complex vitamin, they have so many different vitamins. So every vitamin, maybe they will have their functions, their own functions. That the vitamin E and selenium is major for the antioxidants, and for the vitamin B, maybe because they are the coenzyme. So when they go to a TCA cycle, they can help the metabolic rate. So they also have the different pathway to support the fetal or the cell for the fetal development, or also for the cell reproductive. So this is my presentation today. Thank you for listening.
Any question, comments, or suggestion? Yes, well.
Thank you, Sue, for the presentation. Could you back to slide 21? Yes. Could you explain again why the beta carotene seems not give the good result on the parity 1 compared with the parity 2? Thank you.
For the explanation, the author says that's because the beta carotene is the precursor for the vitamin A. So actually, means the pathway in the parity, in the multiple parity cells, they can work this function better than the guilt. Because guilt, they need more nutrients, not only for the not only for the gestation, they also have to maintain maintain their growth, because they still have to grow up. So they will just use the for the beta carotene directly, so won't transfer to the vitamin A. That's the explanation for the author.
Thank you.
Any other? Yes, well.
Um,
No.
no, that's good.
Okay. Yorita?
So would you please go to page 23? Sorry, my voice is not clear.
Speak a little bit loudly.
So would you please go to page 23? It's not clear. Sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm curious with this research. Uh, I mean, the result is with the addition of the beta carotene, the pig's born death is getting higher in parity more than one. Uh, for example, in the 100%, I'm sorry, the 100 milligram and the 200 milligram.
You mean the result is not continuously, right?
No, I mean from this research, with the addition of the dose of the beta carotene in the 100 milligram and the 200 milligram at the parity more than one, the peak born death is higher in the parity more than one. Could you understand what I mean?
Not really. Sorry. Your question is the why. Okay. Your question is that why the multiparity for the multiparity cell, when they get 100 concentrate 100 microgram of the beta carotene while they got higher bone death of the piglet?
Yes, that's right. I mean, the higher beta carotene is, is 100 and 200 is have a higher pig born death in the parity more than 1. Could you get it?
I know.
Parity
I-
1, if we add beta carotene 100, 200, so it's still higher mortality rate.
Yeah.
I pick yes. Why?
The question is so
为什么
可不可以再讲
第一胎里面的话呢，加了100到200，它的死亡率是那么高，高于第二胎，而且高于50。
夏博士说多胎的吗？
对，斜线那个了。
对，多胎的。I don't know the question. I don't know the answer, but maybe I can find out some reference to explain about this.
Maybe you can you try to find out whether the parity more than 1 will have higher litter size. If that is true, and then the pig bone dead is not very special, you know. Can you understand what I mean?
That means if the litter size is getting higher, so maybe they also will get the high percentage of the small for the small piglet.
They will have higher litter size, and once they have higher litter size, they will have very small piglet, and once they have small piglet, they will have higher mortality rate. So maybe we better to check whether the result have bigger litter size or not.
Yes, they have big litter size. We can see here. They compare with the control, because control maybe just 7 to 9 mostly, but we can see that they also have some situation is over 14 piglets on the treatment with the beta carotene.
Okay. Maybe this is the explanation for this question. Yulita is okay? Who asked the question? Yulita, yes. Where is the chat?
Yes.
Do you
Thank
have
you,
any
Shu. Yeah. Okay, I asked one question. From your presentation, in some experiment, we can see like the researcher, they inject some vitamin, right? For like only some period, like maybe 7 times, in some paper 8 times during the gestation period, and they also increase the litter size and number of and increase the litter size and the weight of the piglet. So what would you suggest, like to inject or give them the vitamin mineral supplement in the feed every time? Am I audible?
Your question is talking about what kind of method that I want to use in the pig, like
Yeah,
injection
because
or providing the feed.
we are usually supplement the vitamin minerals in the feed, right? But in some experiment, they inject the vitamin injection only just maybe 7 times or only 4 times in the during the gestation period, right? Also, they increase the litter size and body weight of the piglet. So, which one is the good method? Yeah, that's my question.
For my opinion, I prefer just increase the concentration in the feed, so it's more easy. But you have to ensure that your gilt or sow can finish all of the feed, so we can know that their the consumption of the vitamin content is right.
You agree? Do you agree, Jet?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Any question from Thais?
I have some question.
Yes.
I'm a little bit confused about the relation of the vitamin A and selenium. Can you explain that? The
Vitamin
relation
E and the
of
selenium.
vitamin A and selenium.
Okay.
Vitamin E and the selenium. For both of them, they have the function for the antioxidant, because we know that all of the metabolic pathway they are in the oxidation way. So maybe when we provide more vitamin E or selenium, because they have the function of the antioxidant, so we can improve more immunity or the other protect of the cell, so we can get more higher higher performance or result. And the other thing I want to say is, usually we can from this figure we can see that maybe my experience is wrong. Somebody maybe the confuse is for the live pigs in a nest. It not only means for the live pigs. Maybe you will think that's because we eat the vitamin E or A or the other more vitamins, so they will increase the live liters. But actually, for this one, they are reduce the embryo loss, so they will get higher litter size. Not they really can improve. They just reduce the embryo loss. Okay, thank you.
Sometimes we try to explain the vitamin E and the selenium in different way.
And
That
I
is,
have
which one is outside the cell, outside function outside the cell, and which one is function inside the cell. Okay. I forgot which one is inside or which one is outside the cell. I mean, antioxidant, yes, is very important, but they are working in different place. Okay, this is a very important. For example, maybe vitamin E is working on the cell membrane, and say selenium is working inside. If I remember correct. Okay, this is a big difference. Any other question or comments or suggestion? Okay. My question is, from my point of view, it seems it's not all the vitamin play very important role. It seems the most important one is the vitamin E and the selenium. if watch from your result. So maybe this is a interesting part in the future. What is your opinion about this?
I put more effort on the vitamin E and selenium. That's because this I can find the new research. Most of the new research is all most of them is talking about the vitamin E and selenium. But I also try to find the vitamin group B group. But for the B group, I for the research is just maybe 20 years before in the 1990. It's not so say it's not so recently. So I think maybe for the vitamin E and the selenium is a new trend, but I think the other also very important because I also find the function for the vitamin D like this one. They also talk about the vitamin D transfer, so they were good piglet for the piglet performance, like their muscle or the carcass rate can getting higher in when they are go to the finish peak. So I think yes, but yes, for the vitamin E and selenium is important, but I think the other vitamin also important. And the other thing I didn't mention is for the minerals because I also consider rate for the minerals. Maybe I can find for the next time.
What I mean, vitamin E and selenium is not to say I do not agree with the other vitamin. The important is if you watch the performance point of view, it seems the most high performance is get from the vitamin E and the selenium. The other part seems not have a higher one. From theoretical point of view, here you said vitamin D maybe it's important because vitamin D is efficient at the moment. Everyone is considered about the vitamin D is the important one, but we need to have evidence. If no evidence, we cannot say they have a big improvement on the pig's performance. Maybe all the vitamin is important. I don't know, but I prefer to see your result. Okay, if your result shows double vitamin we provide into the South diets can improve the performance, then we can see we can start from all the vitamin maybe play important role, but we still need to find out which one is the most serious one, important one, because at the moment vitamin the other vitamin seems not too low, but the vitamin E is very low. Okay, in the whole international situation, I'm not quite sure why the vitamin E is so low. Okay, compared with others, maybe it's because of NRC's standard is too low. Okay, so I don't know. And from your result, it seems the vitamin E is only 70. 100 is enough, and I'm not quite sure whether 100 or 150 or 200 is suitable for the sow or for the piglets. Yeah, in your result is you also say 70. Yes, I noticed about that. Okay, any other question, comments, or suggestion?
Yes,
Please.
just want to share some idea. When we work on vitamin in the animal feed stuff, normally we will concern the amount of the vitamin that we supplement, right? And as a human being, for vitamin supplementation, if we supplement too low or too high, will cause problem to animals. What is your opinion about this?
Yes, I also find some paper is when the vitamin deficiency will also have some disadvantage on the peak performance, not only for the reproductive performance. And they also said, like the paper I just saw maybe these few days, they said when the sound deficiency of the vitamin, so their leg lesion, the lesions of the leg or the hoof, they were high, get high incidence on it. So they will affect a lot, not only on the reproductive performance. Thank you.
So it's because of this in most of your results of your presentation today will show more effects on sound rather than in the gill, right?
Actually, I want to discuss about the guilt, but most of the paper they use the sound or they just combine with the guilt and the sound. But we can see that seems not big difference between the sound and the guilt for the result, but only for the beta carotene one. And I'm thinking that just because they cannot transfer the beta carotene directly, because they will just use the beta carotene for themselves after.
Yeah, from this, I think different with Shu Ping. Like for sound itself, they will more requirement for the body recovery than gill. So when we supplement the vitamin in the high level, they will have the sound to maintain the body more clear than gill. And for the slide 20, I think 23. Like here, for example, for the sound, even you supplement 50, 100 or 200, it show the peak bonded lower than the control one. And when we compare to the gill will have the high, how to call it, peak dead than the sound. What I mean is when we supplement the vitamin to the sound, will show good results than the gill because of this. Because of sound need more nutrient to recover their own body than the gill. Or maybe you think different.
What did you think? So,
My opinion is not really because yes, we can think that the sow need more because they are bigger than the gilt, right? So they have to make more effort for the recovery, but also for the gilt, they not only have to recover themselves, they they not only for maintenance, they have to grow up. So I think that maybe it's more hard than sow.
Can I make joke? like when we over than 30 years old, we need more like supplement than the young people, because we need supplement more than them.
But can I make a joke back?
Yeah.
Do you think you can eat more when you are young, but you can maintain your body condition score? So that means
Yes.
you have to.
Yes, but here is for reproductive performance, so we have a little bit
That's
different.
because they still need to grow up, so they need more other nutrients. It's my
No, yeah, like when we supplement for human being, normally they will have the omit for young people or pregnant people. So maybe the level of the vitamin that we supplement will have effect to them rather than to adult people or something like this. Yeah, just my opinion.
Okay.
And one more thing about the method to apply vitamin, because I also did experiment about vitamin also, and it's not easy that we supplement by oral compare with the injection. But Susu said if give a supplement and then they eat finish all will more easy to provide to them. But for myself, if you give injection, you will have a correct amount of the vitamin for them and more easy to supply to this way for the sound. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We are all Oriental people. We are Oriental people. Don't try to against other people's opinion. From my point of view, it's I'm not quite sure because of course we need a feed for growth, but the feed for growth, whether feed for growth is most important one is a vitamin or energy or protein. I don't know. Okay, so this is another important things we may need to think about. I don't know how to explain this, but my thinking is we cannot easy to explain these kind of things at the moment. Okay. Any other question or comments, suggestion? Okay. Another things I like to say is a conclusion. Yes. When we are talking about the conclusion, I prefer the if you want to have two conclusion is okay. 4 conclusion, I also think it's okay. But if you talking about a conclusion, you took a lot of other things, and then the conclusion listed here became not so important because not so attracted people. So maybe in the future, if we make a conclusion, we better to follow the conclusion to say the most important things. Which one is the most important things? Okay, this is a very important from my point of view. Can you understand, Susu? Susu is not there.
Yes.
Okay. So today we will finish here, and thanks to Susu give us this kind of presentation, and this is related to his thesis. The other student, if you try to give a presentation, maybe he's also try to find out so related to your thesis at the moment. And then you are easy to writing your thesis in the future. Okay, this is a way to give presentation during your study for the postgraduate studies. Today, the young student not come to the seminar.
Because now it's his turn to go to the farm practice. So he told me this morning he said that maybe he cannot join us in the seminar.
Okay.
Because for the farm work.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So good night, everyone. See you next week.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you.
Thank you.